Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you hear sounds, that's because Sam's in here. I love you, Sam. For today's video, I wanted to talk about what worked for me for getting the few tricks that I do know how to do or can do in dance. Because a lot of the time it's more than just knowing how to do it, it's also other elements like flexibility. I know I'm messy. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the post notification. But it involved other things like flexibility, a kick. Now I'm close to a back bend. The thing with back bend is I can actually do one with the dance hammock. And I can do the one version of a back bend type thing. But your knees are like this, and then you do a back bend from that. I had for me it's the weight balancing and other stuff. So there's that situation. So I do have a couple cartwheel tricks, and I'm working really hard on a handstand. I got the height. I feel like I'm close. It's just the figuring other stuff out. And then I also have worked on a few other variations of back bends. And the other day, I actually was messing around, and I forget what I did. But I was so around a little bit, and I did what's called a chair back bend, and it was actually amazing. So it basically it's kind of similar to a back bend, but you almost it's a back bend, but you do a sitting position, and so let me explain. It's basically doing this, sitting. But then, let me see if I can do it now. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't do it now on this thing. But it's the same thing as just sitting, but your back is kind of arched. So it looks like a chair. And so, with cartwheel, actually, there's a story that I'm going to tell. I worked on them for a really long time. It took me, here's the thing, with me and acro, I continuously took class week after week after week. For not joking, I want to say a good 2 months, which is 8 classes. Getting nowhere. I won't actually know. I would say 2.5 months. So 2 months and 2 classes. So 10 weeks worth of classes of getting nowhere. Or me feeling like I wasn't getting anywhere and not really unlocking any new tricks or anything like that. And then finally, the story is that finally, this one day, and I kind of knew I had just a basic cartwheel. It wasn't the greatest, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to keep working on it 1 or 2 more weeks. I get into class, and all of a sudden Abby tells me, she's like, okay, Lolly, we start working on one-handed cartwheels. And that was the start of it. And literally from that day, once I had that, every cartwheel trick since then has just come easy. Also, one thing that I will say is that for me, I feel like a cartwheel cut split is easier than a normal, is easier than a one-handed cartwhel if you have a split. Hey, Sam. Hey, baby. Yeah, I got a visit from you this morning. He always comes in the morning and visits me in bed. Well, sometimes, not all the time. Only when he feels like it. And it's like, no, it's time for you to get up, mess with me. I love you, Sam. So, like, sorry, Sam's just, like, sitting here staring at me, like, I notice me, pay attention to me, I love you. And then, literally, I was so excited when she told me one-handed cartwheel. And then that same day we did one-handed cartwheel with the cup of water, nailed it. And I feel like I nailed that better than I did just a one-handed cartwheel because I couldn't cheat it. You want to come? What I mean by that is like, without the cup of water, I could cheat it and like put my hand out, not thinking. Versus, head now. Come here. Come here. You good boy, lay down. Okay, he's gonna take over the video apparently. And then it's gonna be about him. Not me. But once I had that cup of water, I couldn't cheat and put my hand down. And I had literally no option but to do it without that hand coming down. And that was the nice thing. And with that, I found a little trick. Like the first time I did it, I actually cheated and set the cup, like I did like this. So the cup was touching the ground, kind of as like a first try. But I do it full out then. Then the second time, I didn't do that anymore. It was like, okay, I had my one warm up now. Now I gotta do it. Like, no other option. And so that is what happened. And like, then pretty soon we actually did both. We did that, and then a couple weeks later we did cartwheel cut splits. And then most recently, we did another like cartwheel trick. This one kind of stumped me a little bit, not much, because of the fact, and I think it wasn't the trick that stumped me, it was because of the fact that first I kind of, like, I only, no kiss. He's like, but I wanna. Sorry, he was trying to kiss me on the face, and I'm like, no. And he's like, no, I want to kiss you on the face. Okay. So then, and the reason that stumped me was that day I was having an off day, and I couldn't, like, just a basic cartwheel was becoming a little bit hard for me to do. So I literally, like, just worked on, like, the basic cartwheel a couple of times before I really tried the, like, under cartwheel trick. I don't think Abby noticed because she didn't say anything, and it was like I had the cartwheel, it was the landing that was, like, throwing me off because I would land with both feet. But I mean, whatever, like, it. So, like, that was all, like, okay. It, like, all of it is something that, like, I had to work on and like figure out, but it was like all well worth it. And what the cartwheel trick that we were working on that day was, it was like a cartwheel with like a fan kick in there. So it was like a fan kick, a backwards fan kick in there, and then oh wait, I forgot, we did do another cartwheel trick before that, which is a cartwheel set. So I forget what it was called actually, but it was where we would do a cartwheel and we would sit on one leg, and the other leg would be straight out in front of us, not touching the ground. So we would we would face the way that we came from. Meaning, for an example, like this leg would be up like this, foot would be pointed, and the other leg was underneath it, almost like we were starting to sit on our knee, but it would only be one knee that we would be sitting on, and the other one straight in front with a nice straight leg, pointed foot. And then after we landed, we would put it on the ground. And I feel like that's the thing that I'd like to say, is that I feel like all of the tricks that we did afterwards, after the one-handed cartwheel, and the basic cartwheel, that would be in there. I feel like all of them were easier than the one-handed cartwheel, so I don't know why she I know that I don't fully know why she put the one-handed cartwheel in there as the second cartwheel trick, but I'm also not mad at it because I know Abby has a plan, and I know she is figuring out what works for me and figuring out what I need to work on and what I can work on, because there's a difference there, and then what is completely impossible, one day I'll work on but not yet. There's difference there. The first two are the same, but the one day thing, that's stuff that I have to learn other stuff before I can do, but I'm gonna get there one day. That's something that I will say, is that I just continuously prove people wrong. And what I mean by that is health reasons and different things. I was basically told that I was never gonna really run or do anything, and now look at me. Prove them all wrong and stuff. And that wasn't oh, my parents saying this, it was actually health reasons, and doctors and stuff didn't think this would happen, but how it happened worked out in the end. He needs my baby Sam. Okay, clearly I need to end this soon, because clearly he wants me to pay attention to him. I love you, Sam. Sam's always there for me. He's Sam's even when I don't need him to really be there for me, he's there. And when I'm taking a bath or something, and he's constantly following me everywhere. He's constantly following me everywhere if I do something like a bath or a shower or something, and he's right there making sure I don't drown, and it's just amazing. He just loves me, and I love him, and it works out. He just makes sure I don't drown or anything, or that I'm constantly happy, or I'm busy playing with him and loving on him. And that's something I'll always say, that Sam is probably one of my best friends, / he's my baby. And even though, I don't have full responsibility of taking care of him, I do a lot of taking care of him but my dad does help here and there because and that's never like me not wanting to. It's that sometimes Sam will just go to my dad and like I want my dad to like do something like play with him, or like occasionally he'll just like take a toy over to my dad and be like, I want you to play with me. And then so my dad ends up throwing in his toy and playing fetch with him. Like that situation. And then sometimes my dad will be up, like doing, like cooking or doing something in the kitchen. And Sam will go to the door and my dad's like 2 feet away from it. I'm over on the couch. And my dad will just open the door for him, like. And sometimes Sam just likes that. He loves my parents and he loves me. Like that's something that is one thing is that all day, every day, he's not, like a big majority of his day, he's on my mom's lap, just laying there or sleeping, or like just having her pay attention to him. And that's good. And today, I don't know if today's gonna be the day or not. I might start this today, I might start this tomorrow. But I am planning to start works on a song. Not for you guys. What I mean by that is, so a little while ago, that actually might have been in the video that I deleted today, because it got messed up when it uploaded, and so like the quality, like it was just like glitchy, like it was a mess. I don't know how that happened, so I deleted it because it wasn't really an important video. But I said that I was gonna make a song and never release it. What that is essentially, I'm making a song for my crush. And one day, I hope that one day I will find him, and then like one day I'll find him and I'll be able to like most likely end up singing the song to him or something, because I know he's gonna, or at least having him look over the song, and then and that way it's like actually our song, like it's actually a song that like is about us specifically. And then if he decides that like he wants me to release it out there, then I'll release it out there. If he decides he doesn't want me to, then it will never be released. That is kind of the thing, and if I never find him, it will never be released. So it's one of those situations, and it's one of those things that over time I'm just gonna add. So like, I might come up with like the first line, and then like, in 2 months I might add a second line, and so on. But I'm gonna say peace out for now, if Sam will let me. Peace out.